14. The Nostromo detaches from the cargo and heads towards the origin of the message, the planetoid LV-426. Different from the official film versions, the following is the detachment filmed from different angles.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Disengage.
Crossing the Terminator and entering night side.
Roll 92 degrees starboard yaw.
Prime dorsal. Down at degree.
39,000.
15. Landing on LV-426. In the final film, the Nostromo's breakdown is depicted straightforwardly immediately after landing. In the final screenplay and novel, the scene is longer. Parker and Brett are in the engine room during the descent and see an electronic fire in one of the panels. The fire is big and Parker and Brett are struggling to put it out. 16. During repairs, some of the crew analyze the planetoid's atmosphere, environment, and surface structure. 17. Dallas, Lambert, and Kane prepare for the exploration on the planetoid. The film only shows Ash preparing in his observation blister. In the final screenplay, the preparation of Dallas, Kane, and Lambert is shown. For example, taking laser pistols, about which Dallas specifically remarks, "Keep away from the weapons unless I say otherwise." There is no video material available for this scene. 18. In the film, Dallas, Lambert, and Kane leave the Nostromo and descend to the planetoid using the elevator. Parker, Brett, and Ripley have a conversation on the C deck about bonuses and shares if the research team finds something. In the final screenplay, the entire scene is longer and different. Ripley, Parker, and Brett are in the engine room repairing damages. Parker and Brett are welding panels, and Ripley is rewiring one of the panels. Parker and Brett inquire about bonuses from Ripley if the research team finds something. This scene is before Dallas, Lambert, and Kane exit the Nostromo. There is no material available in this form for the scene. 19. Dallas, Lambert, and Kane head towards the source of the signal. Ash monitors the trio from his observation blister.
Good contact on my board.
Bearing free, keep the line open. Let's go.
Goddamn thing.
Quit griping.
In the final screenplay, Lambert works as a navigator on LV-426. For this mission, in the original storyboard by Ridley Scott, Lambert had a holographic visor on his helmet. In order for the crew to see, Ridley Scott wanted to have small visors inside the helmet that would allow the crew to see the terrain they were walking on. This visor would make 3D images of their surroundings as well as a sort of holographic map. Lambert uses this guidance visor to locate the derelict ship. No video of Lambert's holographic visor has been released to the public. 21. The film production company initially deemed the Derelict's space jockey interior scenes too expensive to produce. Therefore, A new rock formation scene was written into the final screenplay to replace the Derelict's interior scenes. In this scene, the aliens' signal transmission stops at a rock formation. Dallas, Kane, and Lambert decide to stop and rest at the formation. Before they can rest, the alien signal starts again. Led by Lambert, the trio continues their journey. As they move away from the rock formation, unbeknownst to them, on the other side of the formation, there is a large fossilized form. Ash, having obtained images of the formation through the trio, analyzes and investigates the rock formation from the science station on the Nostromo. Eventually, Ash notices in the images an odd formation in the rock, which is revealed to be a dead space jockey, petrified within the stone. Ash keeps his discovery secret from others. Eventually, the film studio relented and allowed the construction of the derelict ship's interior spaces. The rock formation scene became unnecessary and was discarded. There is no video material available for this scene. 22. In the final screenplay, while Dallas, Lambert, and Kane travel to the source of the signal, Ripley, Parker, and Brett are together in the engine room repairing damages. Suddenly, Ripley decides to go to the bridge, leaving Parker and Brett to repair the damages. Parker gets annoyed with Ripley. There is no material available in this form for this scene. 23. Ripley asks Ash if the contents of the message have been deciphered and begins to investigate the message herself through ECIU. 24. The discovery and exploration of the derelict ship. The trio sees a large derelict ship on the horizon and begins to approach it. The sets for the derelict were large and expensive, so Ridley Scott filmed many scenes of exploring the derelict from the outside and inside. However, very few of these shots made it into the final film. It is noteworthy that Kane's enthusiasm to explore the unknown vessel is highlighted, and later Dallas also refers to Kane's irresistible opportunities for exploration. This may refer to previous bonus theme.
Line for light. We have now approached the base, which I don't mean to be lighthearted, but it looks like a giant lamb roast left over.
All right.
We have reached the entrance of the left part of the two entrances.
Dallas.
I can't see the end of what looks like a long...
Well, I think we should try it. If we've got this far, we must go on. I think we must go on.
All right, we're now proceeding.
Ridley Scott planned with H.R. Giger to bypass the final screenplay for some scenes from the original screenplay. One of these scenes is the Xenomorph mural scene. Dallas, Kane, and Lambert find a mural in the derelict depicting the Xenomorph's reproductive cycle and stylized images of the Facehugger emerging from the egg, subduing the host, and later the Chestburster emerging from them. Giger completed the mural for the shoot, and some shots of the scene were made. However, Ridley Scott left them out of the film because he feared the mural would spoil the upcoming scenes and plot of the movie. A similar scene was included in Prometheus movie. 26. One of the most striking scenes in the film is when the trio discovers the space jockey and the massive chamber where it sits in its chair. At the same time, the trio notices a large hole protruding outward from the space jockey's chest. In the novel, Dallas also finds a radio transmitter and an empty egg in the space jockey chamber. 27. Another scene designed by Ridley Scott and H.R. Geiger, which followed the original 1976 screenplay, was to bring the space jockey's head to the Nostromo for examination. In the original screenplay, the head was intended to serve as evidence of the place found, but in the final Alien film, the head had no plot purpose. Therefore, the scene was completely omitted. A remarkably similar scene was included in Prometheus later on. 28 Original version. One of the biggest changes and exceptions in the entire Alien story between the different versions was the egg silo scene. This scene is one of the most famous deleted scenes from the movie because it shows the original location of the Xenomorph eggs. According to the original screenplay and early versions of the film's script, the crew does not find the eggs in the abandoned ship, but in a separate structure. The crew finds nothing on the abandoned ship except Space Jockey, and they return to the Nostromo. On the way back, they notice a pyramid-like structure on the horizon and compare it to the triangular symbol that Space Jockey scratches into the console when it dies. The crew decides to go explore the pyramid structure. They cannot find the entrance at the base of the large structure. They find the entrance at the top of the pyramid, which is covered by a thin membrane covering. Kane cuts through the pavement and descends into the pit below, eventually finding himself in the cave. The cave is decorated with intricate hieroglyphs and a stone altar in the center where the eggs were kept. The scene would have continued as in the final film. Ridley Scott would have liked to shoot the scene, but due to budget constraints, the film studio did not allow 2 alien locations on LV-426. Therefore, the separate egg silo scene was combined with the derelict ship as seen in the final film. The egg silo scene is extremely important to the overall plot of the Alien movie. It would give an explanation and backstory to the space jockey's fate, and the Nostromo explorer's plot would be more logical. When the egg silo is on a derelict ship, as it is in the movie, it raises several plot weaknesses and discontinuities. In the movie Prometheus, there is a scene done a bit in egg silo style, respecting H.R. Geiger's egg silo concept. However, the scene does not follow the original egg silo plot.
There's a layer of mist just covering the eggs that reacts when broken.